Everybody loves junk food, but only just because of how good it tastes. And the people that eat junk food every day should know how bad it is for them. Junk food is extremely unhealthy, and that's the biggest reason you shouldn't eat it. And I know junk food isn't good because every time I eat junk food, I end up eating too much because it's unfilling and it ends up making me feel feeling unwell and gaining weight. My points are junk food is very addicting, junk food is very bad for your health, and junk food has little to no nutrients and it has chemicals and fats in it that are very bad for you. So, point number one, junk food is very addicting. Foods that don't stay in your mouth long and they melt like ice cream and cotton candy and cake and stuff, like just stuff that like you eat really fast. It basically sends up your brain a signal that you're not eating as much because you're not chewing it. Like good healthy stuff for you, like certain types of meat and stuff that you would chew it for a while. And so when it melts in your mouth and it's not there, it sends a signal to your brain that you're not eating as much food as you are, and you're not filling yourself, but you're consuming the calories and fat as if you were, and it ends up just giving your body a harder time, um, you know, altogether. Eating lots of junk food also makes your brain produce lots of dopamine, which is the chemical in the brain for the reward system. So it can make so much dopamine in your body since it just keeps creating it that you can develop a dopamine tolerance, which basically it makes it harder to fulfill your needed amount of dopamine, which is very unhealthy. And the brain has a reward system that's hardwired into it, and junk food just completely messes that up from the stuff in it. And it just eating junk food makes your brain think you're doing something good. It makes you want to eat more, but you're really not. And I got some of that information from piedmont.org. And some ways you can stop a food addiction, because you can get addicted to the dopamine from eating food. And some ways you can stop that food addiction is by drinking water. You can eat more protein. Just when you see the food around you, like just go away from it. You don't want to be around junk food. You can plan healthy meals so you don't have to worry about that. When you're stressed out, you might want to eat more, so just try not to be stressed. And sleeping is also a very healthy method. So junk food is very unhealthy. It can cause obesity, and eating junk food as a regular part of your diet causes you to consume more fat, carbohydrates, and processed sugars than people who do not, like people who eat just very healthy food. And junk food and diets can add up to hundreds of more calories a day, which can add up to even more weight in the year. And you just end up gaining a lot of weight just from extra eating. It can cause diabetes because your insulin levels become elevated when you eat processed sugars, which is stuffed in most junk foods, like ice cream and cake. Eating junk food every day can cause very high insulin levels, which will eventually make your cells. It'll make your cells ignore the hormone, and because it'll just keep happening. Your cells be like, oh, it's not true, and then that will lead to a condition known as insulin resistance, which can lead to diabetes type 2. And eating so much junk food can cause heart disease. Many junk food, not many, lots of junk food that you eat contains very large amounts of sodium, and that is the main reason Americans consume way too much salt compared to the daily recommended amount. And that contributes to high blood pressure and many diseases such as heart, liver, and kidney, according to Harvard Health publications. And it just causes very bad health issues. And the average American, due to junk food and other foods like it, cause Americans to eat 5 to 10 times more salt than the recommended amount per day, and that is 2,300 milligrams. And that's according to Healthy Eating Gate.com. It also can cause dental problems because a lot of junk food are very sugary, like soda and candy, and that just causes a lot of dental problems because the sugar on your teeth and all that. And junk food also contains little to no nutrients and has chemicals in it that are very bad for you. Junk food has very low vitamins, minerals, and fiber, which is all very needed for your body. And it's high in kilojoules, saturated fat, added sugars, and salt. And junk food is very high in sugar, fat, and sodium, which isn't bad for you. And if you have them in small proportions and a healthy amount. But since you're eating junk food, which is full of them, you'll be eating way more than you need to. And those lack of nutrients, if you're constantly eating junk food, will cause a very large lack of energy, which will affect your life, well, your day-to-day life. And that's basically it. That's why you shouldn't eat junk food. It's addicting, it's bad for your health, and it has no nutritional value. And that's it.